Well, welcome back, Zach. It feels like
it's been a
forever.
while. Yeah, it does feel like a very long time.
Yeah, we kind of went on a couple marathons before Christmas so we could have a couple Christmas weeks off and New Year.
New year,
new me.
I was gonna say new year, new you.
Nice shirt you got on there.
Thanks. I was thinking of your hat there, and I was like, man, you think Drake May's gonna win the MVP?
I don't think he's going to. I think he should. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to give it to Matthew Stafford.
I was going to say, then he would be, pretty close to Tom Brady, because I think Tom Brady only has 3 MVPs, right?
Yeah, I know Super Bowl 51, Matt Reeves, is that the quarterback for? Yeah. Okay.
It's coming out.
All right.
One of the Christmas presents I'm donning a nice Aaron Rodgers jersey. I just brought him up because he has 4 MVPs, one more than Tom Brady.
Okay, all right.
So, but Drake May is close to Tom. If he gets one, he'll be closer to Tom Brady. Not quite close to Aaron Rodgers, but, maybe one year.
Did you buy this or was it gifted to you?
It was gifted to me. I've never had, I don't think I've ever had an NFL jersey before.
All right. Yeah, that's nice. I was just going over, what's that guy's name, the quarterback of the Falcons? Matt Reeves.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I knew Reeves was not right. It didn't feel right, but I knew it was close.
Yeah,
he won the MVP.
He did. He was good.
He won the MVP that year.
That's true.
Good for him.
I'm just saying.
And then he got eventually smoked in the Super Bowl. So it's like, take your pick. That's. I almost said something like,
I
almost don't want him to win it. I don't think. I don't think Dre
is the type of person.
I don't think he pays a lot of attention to it.
Yeah.
So that's that is good. But I think it might be just a little bit of
once you start.
A little bit of a
getting it. It's
chip.
Because I've seen. Obviously, the only weird thing about Stafford getting it is that his team's not like a 1 or 2 seed. He's putting up great numbers, and then the thing I keep saying about the Pats is, I might have made this up. This doesn't sound like it could be right that they beat one team with a winning record this year or something crazy. I'm that's insane.
That is true. But when you look at the defenses that we played,
I've seen this stat too.
We played some of the top defenses. So I guess we played a lot of. What's that?
I'm just kidding. Football's a team sport. No, I'm just
kidding. Yeah. But
this is why it's hard with the MVPs and stuff.
It's hard
because I do think objectively,
who was the most valuable player to their team?
That could be because Patriots do have a good team, but Drake May has been on the money.
Right.
He's been really good. Matt Stafford has some really good receivers. I think Drake May has.
He's got Diggs.
Diggs only plays half the game. You know what I mean? He's really good though, but and they've got a good.
Right.
It's tough.
Right. We don't have one of those just.
I know.
Top of the class receiving core. But, Pop Douglas, he's doing it good. There's a young guy, I can't remember his last name right now, but he caught a couple. There's that Chisholm guy.
Yeah.
So it's really been spread. Hunter Henry has been catching some.
Hooper
that we got from.
Oh, yeah.
Who did we get them from?
Know.
Saints, maybe? I can't remember where we got him from. But so it's been very spread. It's not been the Mahomes Kelsey,
even when Brady and Gronk or Edelman, you kind of have your receivers you zero in on, and it's you got that connection. It's been more spread out. Yeah, so I'm interested to see who wins because and Matt Stafford, whether this is fair or not, this is it could be a lifetime achievement award too. It's he's had a lot of good years. Yeah. And it's I know you should. It's based on the season, but that plays a role.
It does.
Where it's
but Drake could break his leg next year and be out basically for forever.
That's
and
true.
then you're
you didn't have it that one.
Yeah.
It is very. And this year's a weird year because you look at the playoff picture and you're every team is good and every team is bad. What's it even matter? This some teams have lost a lot. It doesn't make any sense.
I've thought about this quite a bit because of all of the schedule. Oh, you're playing.
Yes,
blah,
it's
schedule,
so much
blah.
is about.
Yeah, so much of that. Much. Does that mean what does that mean? Because we have had years in the NFL where there had just been some 2 or 3 or 4 dominant teams.
Yeah.
And they're basically winning a whole bunch. And this year, it's it's really
insane.
Any given Sunday.
It really is, yeah.
So that means, has the league overall gotten better? Has the league overall gotten worse? some people have said the trade corridor, what's it called, portal?
Oh yeah,
has made it worse because college students aren't required to like they can stick into a system, learn that system, so they kind of got to dumb the college level down some because you're just going off of athlete to athlete.
Oh yeah, instead of learning. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is, and you can probably hear it a little bit in my voice. My voice is like shot because I was up to midnight last night watching this Ravens-Steelers game that I knew we were going to lose.
Well, I did not realize that both of the teams were fighting for their lives. I would have paid more attention because my football day yesterday was full. And then Jill was like, hey, let's straighten up, if you'll fold the towels, I'll straighten up my corner. And then, let's play a family game, which those words never come out of Jill's mouth. I was like,
oh, yeah. You're like,
yes, ma'am. Let's do it. So we played 2 games of concentration or memory.
Okay, yeah.
And then 1 game of Uno, the one that,
I guess I've not played it, but I've seen like a bunch of these versions.
Yeah, it's the one where you can get up to 25 cards and you're out. No mercy. Uno, no mercy.
Okay.
Happened to win 2 of those.
Great.
One of
Congrats.
the Uno and the So then I was like, getting ready. So I tuned in late and saw the information. I was like, whoa, I didn't realize it was. I thought they were like, are we going to be the 3rd seed or 4th seed, third, type of thing. I didn't realize it was that cutthroat.
Crazy. It came up because the NFL, as we know, is scripted.
Yeah.
And
did you see a picture of the last play?
No.
Because there was a Steelers player. Who went over the top of the long snapper. Should have been a penalty.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's like every game. Like, this is not why we lost the week before to the Browns, but it was like weird. And I've seen the refs are calling this more this year, but it makes no sense. Like, they're calling more and more offensive pass interference on pick plays they're not pick plays.
We got hit with the same thing.
It's weird.
Hunter Henry ran a route, and they had like a little bit of contact.
Yep.
Then he turns around, and there's still contact. And like, who's contacting whom here?
It's bizarre.
It's crazy. And like everyone in the booth, the rules analyst is like, this is a little like
even the analysts were like that's a bad call. And even I was watching earlier like the Tampa Carolina game, and like there were like egregious calls. Like some guy like face masked the guy and took his helmet off. Like no call. It's like the guy's missing his helmet. It's like, how did we miss this? Like
it is crazy.
I hate
it's like
it when
the
they
quality
miss
has
big
gone
things
down.
like that. I know.
This has happened a couple times, and I don't even remember who it was. I think it was someone Saturday, but I could look it up because I posted it on X. I should just look it up while I'm talking. Boom. But certain things are reviewable and certain things are not reviewable. Right. So there was a play where there was a backwards pass, and the backwards pass got reviewed, and it was dropped, and he picked it up.
For the 2-point conversion?
It wasn't a 2-point conversion. Okay. It was, let's see, I get on these it's great. Sharing stuff so much. Maybe I can find it. But the team doesn't really matter. All I'm saying is it wasn't the Pats. So
you're objective.
A very, very objective bystander. So it was a backwards pass. It was dropped. The guy picks it up and starts running with it, but it was blown dead, if it were a incomplete pass.
Yeah, but it was.
But it's live. So then they review. So it was blown incomplete, and you get the ball back at the line of scrimmage. They review it. They declare it is a backwards pass, and you lose 6 yards on it. When that guy could have ran.
So he got both team.
He got the worst of both calls. He wasn't allowed to run, and the ball got moved back 6 yards. And it's like, if you can't make it right, don't change anything. Just leave it as incomplete pass.
It's crazy because these calls, like even not to complain because we won the game, but Ravens Steelers, there was a play we got called roughing the passer, and those are always so tough. Like it was
too much weight.
It was technically late on Lamar. But the reason why we were late on Lamar is because
he's being held.
He got tripped and fell on Lamar, but he got tripped. Like the guy stuck out his leg, and so it was roughing the passer. But where was the tripping call that made him rough the passer? It's like crazy, and so it's like it should have been tripping initially, 15 yards for the Steelers, but instead it was 15. It's a 30-yard swing, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, those are so
both
frustrating.
An offset, it'd be like, that's better.
Yeah.
But it was great off a missed field goal. Man, I feel bad for rookie kicker. I feel bad. It's like, and our kicker missed the extra point.
Yeah, I saw
right
that.
before to make us down only up by 2. I was like, this is it. We're done.
I saw that the what's his name, Harbaugh or whatever the coach is.
Yeah.
Just took a knee. Instead of using Henry, like he could have shaved what 4 or 5 yards off of what this rookie kicker would have had to kick.
Insane, because even leading up to this, like they had 3 timeouts. Like they actually Steelers in Steeler fashion burned our 3 timeouts like in the third quarter. Also, not a rule thing; it's probably a Steelers thing. But like I know this happens. Rodgers' headset wasn't working. He traded out helmets 5 times.
That happened like 10 years ago, and it happened at the Pats, and we were accused of like sending radio waves. I'm like,
you probably did cheat on this one. Rodgers did cheat. And so we wasted 2 timeouts figuring that out, because it was like we were like at the 5-yard line, like we needed the score, so it was important. But we had like no timeouts.
You'd think someone who's like 42 years old could call his own plays. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, he should have on the 2-minute plays, when 2-minute drills, he's calling his own plays, rolling on this like drive where you go all the way. All these timeouts, our offensive coordinator, you should look it up. It's great. Our whole team, it's a counter. Our whole team is going to the right, and Aaron Rodgers stops that, and then he pitches it to his left. So we have like our running back running by himself to the left, where all of us are going to the right. And there's like 3 guys from the Ravens just like, thank you, tackle you. It's like turnover on downs. We went for it. It's like, what a terrible play call. Like, chance.
Was that Aaron Rodgers or the offensive coordinator?
It was, we wasted all of this time. And it's like,
wasted all the time to get a bad play called.
And honestly, like when Aaron, I think this is just true of 2-minute drills anyway. When we're like hustling up and he's like calling out the line of scrimmage, we do so much better.
Yeah.
And because the defense, and I don't know what it is, but it's like, man, we could not get our offense going.
There is something about the 2-minute drill.
It is. Everyone just like flies on it.
Why can't we just
do
always do the 2-minute drill?
Yes, because it seems like every quarterback does thrive under that. And I know most defenses are playing like light on it because they're like trying. It's like
it's just more of a prevent defense.
Yeah, it's like great. It's like you should do this all the time, but it was wonderful. We let our kids like stay up for it. They never stay up that late. And it was like one of those fine like things we were screaming.
You should have had us for.
I know.
We should have invited you over for the Pats game.
There you go.
And then we go
next time.
In the evening.
Next time.
Bittersweet here.
Yeah.
If you like the NFL, it's bitter because regular season's over.
Yes. Yeah.
We got the playoff season. It's going to last maybe about 4, and then you won't have to hear us talking about NFL for 6-9 months.
Break.
Or if you don't like the NFL, it's going to be sweet. So it could be bitter or sweet.
So when we spend a lot of time on NFL, but just like Aaron Rodgers, the leader of the Steelers, getting us to the proverbial playoffs, which is the promised land for last.
Who do y'all play in the playoffs?
We play the Houston Texans, which has a really good defense, but they've looked kind of rough the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
our offense is pretty anemic. We get DK Metcalf back. It'll be bad.
You're playing at Houston?
Nope. We're division champs, so we get the higher seed. We got the worst record, but we get the higher seed because we won our division. We're at home, so it's pretty nice.
But y'all are AFC North.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're AFC South?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know all of the.
So that's the wild card part of it.
Exactly. Yeah, they got that wild card. So because
of
that,
have a priest again,
dude. I hope so. That holy water. Honestly, I don't think much of Catholics, but I'm starting to. No, I'm just kidding. I saw that on the same side end zone. I'm like, man, insane. But we're gonna be talking about Joshua. Maybe doing a few weeks going through the book of Joshua. Yeah.
Sorry. Did you say Jesus?
Yeah, if you listen to previous episode, you might be like, "Huh, what's going on?" Yeah, I should just gone straight Hebrew to really confuse people. So we're gonna do a little overview, some background, some context as we get into this series. But let's go ahead, take it to the next level.
Let's fire up that twangy music.
From the heart of the Low Country in South Carolina,
it's the Take 2 podcast, where we take theology to the next level.
The book of Joshua, or I should say, where does Joshua rank in Bible character lore to you?
Ooh, it's like when I study him, I think, wow, this is a good guy. But, also when I study him a little bit, he's kind of put off as timid a little bit.
Yeah, because he's got to be so encouraged so much.
Right.
And,
But, maybe mid. I'd say mid.
Mid, yeah, I think so too. Because he's like, in a lot of ways, he parallels Moses. Even a lot of the acts like it. But it's like Moses is always like kind of the greater, right? Like so that kind of overshadows that.
I bet he circumcised his sons.
Hey, yeah,
without having to have the angel of the Lord come threaten to kill him.
Probably true. If you've been paying attention to this podcast too, Joshua takes special place in our household because my fourth child is Joshua, named by Jaden.
Oh.
He had some parameters. He had to do a J name.
Okay.
And he was like, his favorite Bible character at the time was Joshua. We were actually going to name Joshua Judah.
Okay.
But we didn't because Jaden was really lobby and hard for Joshua. So we went Joshua Judah.
I coached a Judah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that name, but I like this name. And Jaden was like, just loved the Joshua story. And I'm excited to get into it. I will say there's a couple of books I've been using as I've kind of gone through some of these notes. One, this is like, if I'd recommend a book on Joshua, this is so good. This is by Dale Ralph Davis.
Okay, Ralph Davis.
It's called Joshua, No Falling Words. It's like a very short commentary, but it's very insightful versus, I'm also been using...
This one's not as insightful.
No, it's very insightful. It's more academic. It's from the NIV commentary on the Old Testament. Book of Joshua is probably written in like the 80s or something, but it's really good, but this is like so much bang for your buck. This you have to really like, you get good stuff, but it's like you gotta really work through it.
Weed through
but I cannot recommend this book enough. I haven't made my way all the way through it, but it's like so good. Oh, he's in South Carolina. I need to get this guy.
Better.
Wow. He started out in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and then got to Columbia. But anyway, let's frame this book a little bit. When you think of Joshua, probably like many of us that grew up in the church, maybe we're thinking broader evangelical average person. Like there's a lot of things that probably come to your mind right away. What are like the big beats?
If I had to put it in one word, transition.
That's good.
You're starting to transition. Obviously after Joshua, you get the book of Judges.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of this free for all time.
Yeah.
And I always found it weird that we have laws about kings.
Yeah.
In what the kings are supposed to do, but they weren't supposed to have a king. So when they get a king, it's bad type of thing. Like what was the real plan? Like were they outside of So I always wonder about that. There's questions. There's like apologetic questions.
Ooh, those are good. Like all the killing, the genocide.
Okay. Right. Like the supposed genocide. But then how are they still there? Because it's like. And they keep fighting them. They keep fighting them. They keep fighting them. They drove them all out. Okay, great. We have a wall around, Israel, and it's ours. Well, quote unquote ours. But then it's not because they're still there during the time. The judges are still there during, Saul, and so those types of things.
I think that's great. What I wrote down when I think of Joshua, I feel like transition's good. I think Jericho's like one of the pinnacle stories that you can sing to it.
He fit
Joshua.
The battle.
That's right. I think of like you alluded to it. Be strong and of good courage.
Yeah.
Think of the promised lands. If we think about it, maybe a little bit less familiar and getting some insight. I like looking at how the Jewish Bible lays things out versus English Bible. Pros and cons to both ways you organize stuff. In the English Bible, it really goes Pentateuch, then to historical books, then to wisdom literature, then the prophets. So Joshua kind of kicks off historical books. That's true. It's part of history. I think sometimes when you think of historical books, you can just think of, okay, it's like this conquest and this conquest, this campaign, this land. It's like chronology, which isn't bad. Right. It's true.
Yeah.
But I like what you can do. You can flatten out the story. You can just think, okay, Moses is done. This is, Israel as a nation continuing. Not wrong, but you can miss some of the significance. And I like how the Jewish Bible lays it out, not because it's better, but just makes you think a little bit differently. They have, the Tanakh, Jewish Bible, has threefold structure. Torah lines up with our Pentateuch. They have the Nevi'im, the prophets, and then they have the Ketuvim, the writings. And Joshua is the first book of all the prophets. It's like Joshua is a prophet. That's a little bit different way to think about it, even though I think we all would agree, he would fit that bill in some sense, maybe not in the same way as Isaiah, like a little bit different. But when you think about that, I think it kind of sets your tone. What is Joshua, quote unquote, prophesying theologically? What kind of things are we supposed to think about? And so what I think Joshua emphasizes is, we have the Torah. What's it look like to live the Torah out? How do we put it into practice? What's obedience to the Torah? How are we faithful to Yahweh? And then, if we aren't obedient, there is not that faithfulness. What are some of those dangers to where it's really not just reporting events, it's preaching through history, where you see like this covenant. You see these things, it's not that one's right or wrong, but I think it just challenges us maybe to think about it slightly differently.
Yeah, if you are disobedient, you might find yourself aching.
That's exactly right. And I love this contrast. Like we'll talk about it more. It's aching. I see the pun, aching. Yeah, that's good. Where it's like, what's that tell us? Like someone in the covenant community can like be disobedient and throw it all away. And just before someone outside of it, Rahab, it's like you see these things where it's about covenant. Like that
big
means
contrast.
Something. Exactly. So anyway, keeping in mind as we go through Joshua, it's good to see God's faithfulness in light of what comes before it, the Torah, Genesis through Deuteronomy, the seriousness of being obedient covenantally, that victory. There's a lot of conquest. It doesn't necessarily come from military might, but through faithfulness and trusting God.
Well, I've always wondered, 36 guys. Is that a huge loss? Like every life is precious, but when you're fighting a battle, I always wonder: is there something that we're not getting? There's something that we don't understand how it was passed down, or something, or maybe they didn't lose anyone in Jericho, and they just assumed we would never lose any life. I don't know.
Yeah, those are really good questions. Maybe we'll talk as we kind of go through, but I think it's good to frame it this way too. Joshua is less about, we think about the promised land. It's not how did Israel win, but what kind of God keeps his promises, what kind of people dwell with God in the promised land, thinking big picture. So the difference between a history book and this prophet preaching paradigm. Another thing I like to think about, I think it applies to a lot of Old Testament, is man-centered versus God-centered, because I think the temptation is David, Joshua, Moses. It's like they were great men. You don't want to minimize that, but
they had failings.
They had failings. You can totally make it like, man, Joshua did everything right, but really the point of Joshua is what did God do? That's we get to the end of Joshua. So Moses, great leader. We get to the end of Deuteronomy. It's a little bit depressing. Same thing with Joshua. We get to the end of it, and you're kind of like, you mentioned Judges. That's not good.
Right.
It's like even though they were great and God was faithful, they can't. They're not initiate. Ezra, Nehemiah, we talked about, did not initiate all this change. It's like you kind of want and hope for more.
Yeah. I always remember, I know this is not Judges, but I always remember being younger and reading that phrase, and everyone did right what was in their own eyes, and thought, okay, they're doing their best. Like they're doing what's right. They may have some misunderstandings, and as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that
that's good.
That's not a good thing.
Some of these phrases, that's great. Along those lines, Joshua, it's a lot of narrative. Sometimes that can be challenging to be like, what's that mean for me? Does that mean if I can just conquer, I can just get my sword out and military conquer? That'll be good to talk through. We mentioned these supposed problems of God telling them to kill thousands of people, moral and ethical challenges. I think it's good to think of this book this way. And this author of this book, Joshua Dale Ralph Davis, he's Presbyterian, and I think he's got good insight when he says things like, this book teaches us a lot about things like heaven and hell, sin and salvation, that at the core, we talked about Joshua in the name, it's really about Jesus, and applies to us that what Israel needed was not just a plot of land where to live, because they kind of get the land, they settle the land, but they still die because of sin's curse. They still need Jesus to come, right? They're looking forward to a cross. They're looking forward to a new heavens and a new earth. And Joshua kind of gets the story going a little bit, but it makes us really long for that eschatology, that end reality where we have this expectation for this promised land, for this rest, where everything will be right. So I think it's good to try to, everyone knows Joshua to some extent, most of us probably do. Where does it fit? Where does this idea, I think Joshua talks a lot about promised land, inheritance, these kind of things. Where do we, see that in the broader biblical context? What was like the quote unquote first promised land? Or where was the good rest? Yeah. Where did that start? And we could probably back up, and people, a lot of times go to like Abraham, but even going like before Abraham, going like Adam and Eve, they were in like the promised land, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
They dwelt
all the 4 different rivers. I wonder where that is.
I know, man. Let's go find it. I bet people just aren't looking hard enough, you know? We know a couple of those rivers, right? So we could figure it out. But anyway, we think of, and we'll see this in our next series. We'll try to tie it together with some of Genesis, and then with Abraham, but before Abraham, there was Adam. I think thinking about that is pivotal, where it's like bigger even than the Abraham story. Goes like Eden, Promised Land, the fall, and like we kind of long for that. We see that revelation, and Abraham to Joshua is a great picture of this and is very important, but it's like it's even bigger than that, you know?
Yep.
So anyway, a lot of things that we'll talk about: rest, covenant, obedience, how the Lord judges, how the Lord fights for his people. And then, as we probably know, it's like the land is never like fully conquered or settled. It's like it's there for the taking, and it's just like we don't get it.
We don't get it until when?
All the land?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hey, we're still waiting, huh? So big things to think about. Let's talk a little bit in our time left about dating, historical background for Joshua, because I think this is really interesting. You ask like critical scholars, the liberal side of things, they're just like, who knows? Like it was written hundreds of years afterward. At some point, you have to think that Joshua wrote at least
1400, right?
A good point. I think that's a good way to think about it. Yeah. If you're thinking like 2000s Abraham, 1500s like Moses, right. You're probably in that 1400.
1000 is David.
Yeah.
So 14.
I think that's a good way. It depends on where you date. Like I have not done a lot of study on it. Like where is Moses? Which Pharaoh is Moses? It's kind of hard to know exactly, but I think
maybe 1380.
Yeah. I think broad picture thinking. Yeah. It's like you can quibble about 100 years here or there, but
where do critical scholars put it? Or they just don't say anything?
They'll be like, it was probably totally constructed after exile. Like it's like
they don't think it's a real book, or
they don't. Certainly Joshua wasn't writing any of these things. Certainly. So if you're conservative, believe the Bible is inspired and inerrant, and if you look even back at the Talmud, what rabbis would say, Joshua wrote a lot of it, and then Eleazar's son Phineas probably filled in the gaps of Joshua died, and there's some things that say like it, even up until this day, like they're probably writing that part of it. This day, they might be filling in some of the gaps.
Sure.
And maybe it all wasn't completed, a little bit after that, but probably, in that time frame. This is where the pushback comes, this phrase "to this day," like what's that mean? So the liberal people would say like all of it was written there. It's not like, filling in an already existing document, filling that a little bit. Hebrews 11:21 talks about Joshua, the Hebrew text of Joshua 11:21 distinguishes between Israel and Judah. So some people are like, okay, if they're making that distinction, it does have to come at least where the kingdom split. So, there's some of that there. So what we can say is that the latest possible date of completion suggests that the author of Kings relied on the book of Joshua. So that's like the latest. Whoever's writing Kings used Joshua as like source material. Yeah. So it could not have been finished later than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense. And part of the thing, from what I understood, and correct me if you've read something different, but I've heard that like there was the priest that kind of kept up these chronicles, and like you're saying, Joshua could have written 85% of it,
right?
And then you have some stuff filled in.
Yes.
But even I'm trying to think like this distinction between like Judah and Israel.
It could have.
There was already, that's
true. There's different tribes and
early before they even split, because
that's true.
When Saul was king of, he was just of the southern tribes and all of it and stuff, and so I don't know.
Yeah, I think people can get bent out of shape. Where I think we can safely say Joshua wrote a lot of this, and so if you're thinking about this too, I think it's good. What was the original audience of Joshua? I think this is fascinating. That. Probably was people of Joshua's day, but a lot of it's probably a lot of people in the time of the judge, a little bit after Joshua, are probably reading this and seeing what happened. It's like a warning, disobedience. This is what comes to get, like, it's kind of like, man, that was like for those people a lot, because they're probably reading about God being faithful, that they did get this promised land, and that they're starting to look like these pagan nations that they read that God commanded. We need to utterly destroy this. That's like what Israel is now doing. Like what a warning. Like what would that be like reading that? If
they had read it,
and applied it. It's like almost you're in America. You can read it today and be like, oh, we're maybe not doing everything we're supposed to do, but big picture, probably 1400. 1300, something in there is the chronological events, and probably written fairly close to that time where maybe an editor did final touches, 600 or 800 or something BC.
Yeah, and the Hebrews definitely had a language that was separate from Egyptian. Moses, Pharaoh's daughter knew that Moses was the Hebrew when she found him.
That's right, So there had to be some sort of culture.
Maybe for no other reasons than he was circumcised, because he would have been circumcised. But, I found a Hebrew child, go get a nurse for me, that type of thing. Moses would have been trained. And I wonder if he learned to speak Egyptian and then he wasn't as good as Hebrew, and that's what he was communicating at the bush. Oh,
that's very interesting.
I can speak it, but I'm not eloquent.
Totally.
Well, here's your brother Aaron. He can speak for you, type of thing. But he would have spent close, maybe not fully, even 30 years around Joshua before he died.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Plenty of time if Joshua, for him to bring him under his wing. Yep. If Joshua didn't know how to write, that's a long time for an adult that you could learn how to write.
You could totally learn. Yeah.
I'm training you how to be a scribe, type of thing. So to
it's
me,
not like it's this far fetched.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It seems reasonable that Joshua could do these things.
If we look, I'm borrowing this outline from the ESV Study Bible. It might offend you, Michael. I'm going to try probably a little sus. But they frame the outline all around the promised land and this inheritance, something to look for. And that's kind of the more or less the approach I'm taking here. Chapters 1-5 talks a lot about crossing into the promised land. Chapters 6 through 12.
From east to west.
And there you go. Yeah. That comes up a lot, the
they had to go around
Jordan and all of this stuff. 6 to 12 talks about the actual taking of the land. Then 13 through 21, this is where people start to check out, I think. Large swaths of text that's dividing the land. It can get challenging, right?
Yeah, and they rode lots, and it's like, how many lots are we rolling?
Keep it going. And then 22 through 24, serving the Lord in the land. So kind of all based around the land. I think there's a lot we can glean from this. So I'm excited to get into it. Anything major?
So you said series, but I don't know if we said this is the first of a series.
We should say this. Yeah, this is good.
In Joshua.
I don't know how long, maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that, probably.
So based on our track record with Paul, that means really there's 20 weeks.
Originally, I was going to do this intro and then 1 for crossing into the land, 2 for taking the land, 3 for dividing the land, 4 for serving the Lord. I might have in the crossing until I might have divided that up into 2. Yeah. So it might start to grow a little bit, but in that ballpark, hopefully not more than 8 or 9.
Probably about 10 on dividing up the land. We should do.
We're going to go heavy on the lots.
We're going to buckle up. You map it all out.
You're going to be an expert. Yeah.
So what I hear is that as your 2 youngest sons get older.
Oh yeah.
Like if they're playing basketball, if your younger one, does a move, it could be Joshua's crossing over Jordan, you know what I'm saying?
That's the dream. That's why we named him that, just to set up that moment. Yeah, so
that's good.
It all comes out. Well, that's great. I'm excited to get into it. Next week we'll get into the first chapter, and I'm gonna frame it at the beginning of it a little bit different than me. I'm gonna steal from this guy here. He does it a wonderful way that's like a little bit out of the norm.
Do we need to talk to you about counsel you on stealing?
Steal, yeah, that's right. Honestly, there's nothing under the sun, am I right?
Got that Steelers jersey on.
It's great. I love it. Well, anything else you want to say?
That's all I got.
All right, that's our take. Thanks for listening to Take 2. Find us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube for those who want to watch our videocast.